So the pizza showed up, and I couldn't wait. So you're gonna have to hang on a second so I can eat this, and then I'll get back to the whole helmet thing. Today, we're making another video about two mounts that we just finished for these two LS2 helmets. We've got one for the LS2 Explorer and the LS2 Blaze, which is this one here. These mounts are custom designed for the individual helmets. You can see here how obviously these two mounts are completely different from one another. Not only the mating surface here, where they mount up to the helmet, but the distance from the helmet, and as you can see here, the way that this camera is able to tip back to the helmet here. If you're standing and riding, and usually you're in the attack position, you can tip the camera back far enough so you can still get that parallel point of view of the horizon so that it's not pointed down. A lot of camera mounts, they really only mount out far enough for you to get the GoPro on. So the GoPro would be sitting up something like that, and when you're standing up and kind of in the aggressive position, the camera would be looking down just about like that, which is directly out from the helmet. And that makes it so that you can only see like the handlebars, the front fender, and like 10 feet of the trail. So it's not a particularly great point of view. So with all of our mounts, we take that into consideration. We make sure that you can tilt the camera back and get that good point of view of the terrain that you're riding on. The cool thing about this, obviously, is that as these are ADV helmets, you're probably going to spend more time sitting down when you're riding and wearing one of these. If you wanted to, you could just tilt it up like that so that you get that same point of view of the horizon. It just gives you kind of more flexibility there. The cool thing about this from the ADV perspective and setting different points of view is that we incorporate these tick marks around this outer edge here. And those allow you to see where you've set the camera. So if you find a point of view that you like, you can set it to that tick mark, or you can use that as a visual reference. And that way you can change it between two different points without having to wonder if your camera is in the right place or not. So when it comes to mounting these mounts to the helmet, they're mounted with double-sided mounting tape. That is cool because it's waterproof. You don't have to worry about getting this wet or anything like that. They stick really well, and we've tested all of our mounts to make sure that they hold up to 20 pounds. So you don't really have to worry about this thing falling off. It's very secure. It's just not going to move around. It's fully fixed to the helmet. If you do want to take it off the helmet, you can twist down on it hard enough to peel it off, but you will need to replace the tape, which we do sell on our website. If you want to get a replacement, you can buy that. Alternatively, you can go down to the hardware store, and there's brands like 3M and Gorilla that sell double-sided mounting tape, and you can just cut out a new piece and use that. But some of them have kind of funky shapes, and they may take a larger piece of tape than you can get out of like a single strip from a roll that you'd buy at a hardware store. And for that reason, if you do want to buy it off of our website, they're pretty cheap, and we'll just mail you an extra set. All that being said, if you just wanted to buy an extra set and just throw them into your cart when you're going to go check out to buy this the first time, if you think you might take it off, or if you're worried about the thing falling off and you want to have an extra set, you can just throw those in your cart, and you'll have them there good to go for the next time you need to put one of these things on. So one of the cool things that we did with this mount is that we reversed the screw direction to go as you're facing the same direction from left to right. And that is because with these newer GoPros, the Hero 8 and Hero 9, they've got the side battery door here, and that opens up on this side. Now, all typical GoPro mounts, they go in from right to left. And that, if you were just running the GoPro as is, will get in the way of this battery door, and it's hard to get the battery door open. So what we've done is we put the screw on the other side, and it just makes it easier to access the battery door. One of the things that we've done with this design is we've just recently made these forks thicker. That's just to reinforce the, this whole headpiece here, the forks and everything. So just make it stronger and more durable. And it's kind of a cool feature because these are 3D printed mounts. We do have the flexibility with all the mounts in our lineup to go back and make changes if we see an improvement that maybe we didn't think of right off the bat. We can go back and we can make those adjustments. So it's a cool way to get kind of feedback from our community of people who bought our mounts, and they can say, hey, you know, like, love the mount, but this, and we can go back and we can make those changes if we get enough of those kind of comments. So one of the things that we really try to pay attention to, in a lot of cases, these helmets will have vents, and like I said, it's custom designed for the helmet. So one of the things that it allows you to do is keep all the vents clear, and it allows you to get to these sorts of features where you have vents that can open and close. Whereas, you know, there's mounts on Amazon that you can buy that basically strap around here, and it's just kind of a mask that lays over the front. And with something like that, it's going to cover up all of your vents, and it's going to make it so that something like this feature where you could open the vent and close it would be basically useless. Whereas in this feature, yeah, the GoPro will still be in front of it, but you can get your finger in there, maybe from the bottom. You can make that adjustment if you want to. You don't have to worry about it because the mount's really not going to get in your way as much as any other mount on the market right now. Sometimes we get questions about whether or not you can mount this upside down, and yes, you can. As you can see here, you can mount it up basically with the same angle as you can mount it upright. The cool thing about our mounts, though, is that you don't have to mount these upside down. I think people got in the habit of mounting them upside down with these older mounts because they were trying to accomplish that same angle where you're mounting it parallel to the top of the visor here so that you could get that horizontal view of the terrain that you were riding over. The advantage of this may be that you can mount it lower than you would if you were mounting it upright. But then again, you have to worry about if you look down, this camera could hit you in the chest and it could tip up, and it's out of your point of view, so you can't see it, and you might tip your camera up or something like that and not even know it, which is would be kind of a bummer. In my opinion, it's better to mount it upright, but you can do this if for some use case you might have. There's some reason for it, I don't know, but you can. Yeah, use it that way. It just depends on what you're using it for. You know, we've taken a lot of things into consideration when we're building these. You know, you don't have to come up with a workaround. There's no screws being drilled into your helmet. There's no additional attachments. You're not spending, you know, $50 on Amazon getting all these different pieces to kind of hack this thing together. It's going to come set up for your helmet specifically so that you can just slap your GoPro on there. You don't have to worry about adjusting pieces or tightening additional screws. You just put your GoPro in and it's done. You just tighten it down and turn it on, and you take off riding. That's all it is. We get a lot of questions about whether or not you can mount this up with a GoPro media mod, and obviously you can. It mounts up just the same. We've created all of these to fit the media mod included with the GoPro Hero 9. The 9 is the biggest camera that GoPro has created to date, and with the media mod on, it's enormous. So getting enough space in between there so you can get that tilt back angle so you can still get a good view of the horizon is really important. So we've taken all that into consideration. You don't have to worry about it. You can just mount up your GoPro with your media mod and it should work fine. The fact that it's sitting right in front of your mouth, you get better vocal reception just because it's right there. It's not anything that's really particular to ours, but if you are trying to do moto vlogging or something like that, or trying to get the reactions from doing different things on the dirt bike, you'll be able to get kind of a lot clearer vocal reception from this. The last thing I want to show you is what you're going to get when you buy one of our mounts. You're going to get a mount which comes with the double-sided mounting tape already on it, a couple of stickers. You're going to get a screw included, and you're going to get an alcohol pad, and this is for cleaning the helmet before you stick the mount on the helmet. One of the things you want to think about when you're mounting this up, grab it by the wings and pull them back and slide it in, and then release it and press it down so that way you get a real good fit. Because if you get it on there and you're kind of crooked, it's just not going to fit well. These things are designed specifically for the helmet, and there's not a lot of forgiveness in the tape if you get it crooked. So it could potentially fall off if you don't get it on there right. So what I always recommend is put it up to the helmet first, make sure you understand where it's going to go, how far in it's going to go. That way, when you go to put it on, you can just lift back the tabs, put it into where you know it's supposed to mount to, and then release it, and then press it on, and it should go on straight. There is the ability to kind of muscle it back and forth so that way you get the last few little millimeters. But for the most part, you should be able to get it lined up straight, clamp it on there, press it down. If the mount or the helmet is clean and everything's fine there. As long as you get it on there straight and secure, it should be perfectly fine. All right, guys, that concludes everything that I had to say about chin mounting for these helmets, just in general. We have 48 mounts created for all different helmets. We're looking to go and create these mounts for all of the helmets in the off-road space, for Enduro, for motocross, for ADV, and for mountain bike helmets. So if you want updates on that, and if you want to get kind of a better feel of how these mounts look when you're actually using them, you can check us out on Instagram. We post all of our updates there for the different mounts, and all of our clips and whatever that we post are pretty much all being filmed with these, so you can kind of get a feel for the depth of field and things like that. If you like this video, obviously subscribe to our channel, like this video because it helps us out a lot. All of the links will be in the description below, so check those out, because if you want to go to our website and buy one or check out the selection that we have, if these aren't the helmets that you have, check out the other ones, because there's a good chance at this point that we probably have them. If we don't have them, you can message us and we'll put it on our list to make sure that we get it done. We're working through these mounts relatively quickly, so within a pretty good short time frame, I'm sure we can get a helmet mount to you. I think that's it. Buy them out. Thank you.